The fierce battle continues between the holy warrior Aquas and the demoness Ashtir as Aquas rushes forward at great speed, leaving a trail of scattered dust behind her, her eyes flashing with holy fire. But in an unexpected moment, Ashtir suddenly disappears in the blink of an eye, as if she was never there to begin with. Before Aquas can comprehend what happened, the demoness appears directly behind her, delivering a treacherous blow from the rear, accompanied by the sound of the air tearing. Aquas blocks the blow at the last second with an amazing reaction, but Ashtir succeeds in grabbing her divine shield with her sharp claw, which surprises and shocks the warrior, as no being had ever touched her shield in this way before. The demoness seizes this precious opportunity and delivers a crushing blow with all her might, sending Aquas hurtling towards the ground with tremendous force, creating a large crater where she lands. Ashtir continues her attack relentlessly and without mercy, realizing she has found a weak point in her opponent's defense, unleashing a continuous volley of dark blows that Aquas struggles to block with great difficulty, while retreating step by step. In the midst of this violent battle, Aquas begins to recite a verse from her holy scriptures in a booming voice that echoes across the battlefield, declaring with a voice full of faith that the brilliant light will not be violated by any creature of darkness. As soon as her words end, a massive beam of pure holy light descends from the sky, striking Ashtir directly and forcing her to retreat as she screams in pain. The demoness stands at a distance and looks at her opponent, astonished by Aquas's ability to read the holy scriptures with such power at such a young age. She then praises her with clear sarcasm, saying she is more interesting than she expected. Aquas does not stop there but continues to recite another more powerful verse, calling on her lord to burn all that is evil with his holy fires. She raises her scepter, which begins to glow with a brilliant light, then launches forward at a speed faster than sound, and unleashes another blast of destructive divine energy that takes the form of a holy fire explosion. The battle between the two ignites, and its pace escalates wildly, as they exchange blows at a super speed that the naked eye cannot follow, leading to violent and successive explosions of holy and demonic energy, which destroy the quiet village around them, turning it into burning rubble. The mercenaries and Hayas find themselves in the midst of this devastating conflict, screaming in terror for help, trying to escape the falling debris. Meanwhile, as the two continue their raging battle that shakes the earth, Katal stands aside with his hands in his pockets, watching the magnificent battle with great admiration and a smile on his face, commenting on how exciting it is as if it were an entertainment show. Hayes runs to him in desperation and clings to his arm tightly, begging him with tears in her eyes to help Lady Aquas, who is fighting for them. Katal replies calmly and coldly that he might be able to help, but he wonders why he should interfere, leaving Hayes speechless and shocked by his response. He explains that he doesn't want to spoil such a good and enjoyable fight, as it's rare to see a battle of this level. And although he also wants to fight a demon, for now, he prefers to enjoy watching this exciting fight until the end. Hayes is horrified by his selfish attitude and thinks that this man is not normal and that there is something wrong with his way of thinking. The fierce battle continues between the two opposing forces, as sparks of energy fly everywhere. Ashtir admits to herself that Aquas is a stubborn and strong opponent as expected from the dogs of the gods, but she feels she surpasses her in terms of raw power and combat experience. However, she realizes that the confrontation itself is not in her favor in the long run, as in this world, demonic beings cannot directly challenge the gods for a long time, and she finds herself slowly retreating before the pure divine power of Aquas, which grows stronger with every moment. Ashtir realizes that if the battle continues like this, it will drag on for a long time and might eventually turn against her. She decides that she will resort to a more cunning method that will guarantee her a swift victory. She begins to move at super speed with a wicked and sly smile on her face, then suddenly changes direction and heads towards the defenseless mercenaries who are watching the fight in fear, which shocks Aquas as she realizes the demoness's new target, so she moves quickly and protects them with her body and her shield. Ashtir continues to unleash an attack of dark energy to pressure Aquas's shield and weaken it, while extreme terror appears on the faces of the frightened mercenaries for what might happen to them if the shield breaks. Aquas becomes furious at this treacherous and cowardly attack and calls Ashtir a filthy thing that has no honor. Ashtir laughs with sarcasm and contempt, asking if Aquas really expected a demon like her to fight with the fairness and honor of knights. At the peak of her anger, Aquas begins to recite a verse from her most sacred scriptures, a verse she only uses in extreme situations, announcing the birth of the glittering golden essence that represents the highest degree of holy power. A powerful and radiant golden aura explodes around her, and with it, she creates a holy sanctuary of light in the shape of a dome, then orders everyone to enter it quickly. The surviving mercenaries rush inside the protective barrier, thanking Aquas for saving their lives from certain death. Ashtir laughs wickedly, questioning if it's right to consume such precious and rare holy scriptures to protect some weak humans. Aquas angrily orders her to be silent, and the demoness smiles, commenting that this is the response befitting an angry holy warrior. The two rush towards each other in preparation for the continuation of the decisive confrontation, and Aquas manages to block the fierce attack launched by Ashtir, but she is surprised when she sees her skillfully dodge and jump into the air above her in an acrobatic move. Suddenly, she closes the distance between them and approaches, whispering in her ear that death is just death, and no one will acknowledge Aquas's noble sacrifice for these scums. She warns her that if she continues like this, she will fall and disgrace the name of her god whom she serves. Then, with extreme cunning, she offers her a simple and tempting choice: to remove the holy power protecting the mercenaries so she can use her full strength to protect herself. And if she manages to defeat her after that, her honor and the power of her god will be exalted in the heavens. Ashtir asks with biting sarcasm if Aquas will really die for a handful of mortal humans. Aquas realizes these are just cheap psychological tricks and describes her words as pointless and that they will not affect her. When Ashtir sees that her provocation has failed, she smiles viciously and tells her to die a martyr then, since she has chosen it. She then unleashes a concentrated and devastating attack of dark energy, raising her power to its absolute maximum. While Aquas struggles with all her might to block this overwhelming attack with her holy light, which has begun to gradually fade, suddenly, in the blink of an eye, Ashtir appears before her with astonishing speed as if she were a ghost, and unleashes a violent explosion of dark energy from close range, which throws Aquas backward after she barely managed to dodge it at the last moment. Although she manages to quickly regain her balance, shock and fear are clearly visible on her face. Ashtir continues her attack at great speed without giving her any chance to catch her breath, launching rings of purple energy that surround Aquas from all sides and completely trap her like snakes. Aquas finds herself surrounded by pitch-black darkness, unable to see anything, while the demoness attacks her from above like a hawk swooping down on its prey. Ashtir declares that she is tired of hearing the holy scriptures of the gods and launches a devastating attack with all her might. Under the weight of the violent attack, Aquas coughs up blood and is thrown to the ground with extreme force. At the last moment, she grabs her shield and blocks a fatal stab that was about to pierce her heart. Nevertheless, Ashtir continues to attack her brutally while she is helpless and on the ground. The demoness gathers a massive amount of dark energy in her hand in the form of a black sphere, and crushes Aquas with it after launching it directly at her, creating a violent explosion that shatters the golden barrier that was protecting the mercenaries. One of the mercenaries screams in despair, realizing they will all die now that their protection is gone. Ashtir smiles viciously, announcing that she will eat them for dessert after her main course. But she decides to start with Aquas first, and wonders about the taste of the noble dog of the gods as she opens her mouth full of sharp and terrifying fangs. At the moment Ashtir was about to pounce, Katal's hand suddenly appears and stops her jaw with force before it can close on Aquas, and he calmly and coldly orders her to stop, declaring that this is enough playing around. Both Aquas and Ashtir are completely stunned by his sudden and unexpected appearance. The demoness wonders to herself when he got here and how, as she did not feel his presence at all, as if he had appeared out of nowhere. Without uttering another word, Katal delivers a powerful and direct punch to Ashtir's face, sending her flying across the village in a violent shockwave that destroyed several buildings in its path. He then calmly turns to Aquas, who is still in a state of shock on the ground, and asks her if she is okay. Aquas looks at him in amazement, and remembers at that moment that this is the mysterious man who defeated Swordmaster Cain with complete ease. From a distance, Ashtir rises from the rubble, her eyes burning with anger and fire, and screams at Katal, calling him an arrogant barbarian, and asks how he dares to interrupt her delicious meal. Katal simply replies as he dusts off his clothes, declaring that Aquas is his friend, and for that simple reason, he will not let her die. Ashtir gets even angrier at his cold response, and tells him that she was planning to keep him alive to be her new toy after she finishes eating the rest. But he replies with amusement and a provocative smile that he has no intention of being anyone's toy. The demoness replies with a wicked smile, saying that he will die here and now then, and she summons her weapon, which takes the form of a massive demonic scythe. Aquas tries to get up with difficulty and asks him to retreat and flee immediately. He tells her that despite his ordinary appearance, he is strong enough to handle her, but she warns him with concern that he cannot defeat a demon with just physical strength. She insists that she is strong enough to fight despite her poor condition, trying to get to her feet. Aquas explains that only divine power is capable of banishing demons from this world and purifying them. She adds that this is a cosmic law that has existed since the dawn of time, and since they are now in the demon's domain, there is no hope for a miracle to save them. Katal contemplates her words seriously for a moment. then notices her weak condition and grave injuries and tells her that she does not look fit to fight at all right now. Aquas replies with determination and resolve that she must fight because she serves the god, and it is her duty to face evil head-on until her last breath. Katal expresses his admiration for her determination and strong faith, but he kindly asks her to leave this fight to him and rest, which puzzles and surprises her. He then smiles broadly and explains that he has always wanted to fight a demon himself to see how strong he is. Ashtir tells him that he doesn't really understand and mocks him, saying that he can't even touch her with his pathetic human strength. Katal challenges her to test the truth of her words. The demoness licks her claws with relish, expressing her desire to see his beautiful eyes twist in pain as she tears him to pieces. She then launches her first attack with all her speed and power, creating a massive vortex of dark energy around her. She then launches from the vortex at lightning speed to attack Katal, which shocks Aquas and makes her fear for his fate. But with complete composure and calm, Katal delivers a powerful and direct punch to her face in the middle of her attack, sending her flying into the air after her head was completely crushed by the force of the blow, leaving Aquas in a state of utter shock and disbelief at what her eyes had seen.
Thanks for watching. I'm going to introduce the new manhwa. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video. And if you want to see a specific manhwa, name in the comments, I will try to make it. It will take long time, but I try to make it, and see you tomorrow.